Today, we are diving into what it really means to be a female founder in today's business world. What's interesting is that women make up to 43% of entrepreneurs globally, but yet nearly 9 out of 10 women owned firms still generate less than $100,000 a year. What's even more interesting is that venture capital paints an even darker picture. So, for example, in 2022, only 1.9% of all female teams received funding, compared to the staggering over 80% of all male teams. Things haven't changed a lot since 2022, by the way. And yet, data is clear. So we have female led startups consistently outperforming, generating higher ROI, stronger revenue growth, and even lower financial risk. But despite this, most women continue to self fund their businesses, especially in tech, where systematic barriers remain steep. In this episode, we'll explore these challenges and the untapped potential of women founders and why changing the funding landscape isn't just equality. It is about innovation and is about competitiveness. So, my beautiful guest today certainly has a lot to share on the topic. But before we dive into that, if you enjoy what I'm doing here with this project, please follow the show and share it with your audience so I can continue improving women's lives. So, my gorgeous darling, who are you and why are you doing what you're doing?
So, hi, Ayo, and hi, all the listeners. I'm so excited to be here. And I'm Signe, and I have business and also business consulting experience prior founding the startup. And I also been studying like business, like international business for a couple of years in Germany. And all this, my previous background was more like in a corporate. Already we had a quick chat before. And yes, I live in Riga in Latvia. It's a small Baltic country, but we actually have quite developed tech community here, and I would say even maybe more advanced than in some of the developed countries. So that tech is not something really new here, and we also have a special women tech communities here, which is a good thing if we talk about the topic, but. Yeah, at the moment I'm running the biggest self-development platform in Latvia, which is also online marketplace, and I'm building a new project which I'm aiming to launch first in US. It's called Arcturus World, and it will be a holistic and spirituality self-development practitioner marketplace. But our particular focus is to provide personalized recommendations for the users. And that's something which personalization has reached so many entertainment and I don't know, even Starbucks do personalized coffees. But I think in areas where it truly matters, it's really so untapped opportunity. And with this space, holistic and self-development, there actually personalization and personal contact is very important. So we will try to do this in our new project. And yeah, that's who I am at the moment.
Signe, I love that. And I love the edge that you are giving to this project. I definitely think that this is so needed. But before we dive into the details of the company, of course, if you're willing to share, because you are
Mhm.
in a stage of the company where you probably have sensitive information and you don't want to overshare so much. But before we do that, what inspired you as a woman to create? You basically have a tech company. It is about self development, but it's a tech company. And how has being a woman shaped the way you build and you lead that company and the process? Because you're so involved in it.
Yeah, so well, what inspired? So first of all, I don't have tech background. I'm not into the programming, And this is also something I want to encourage between women that you don't have at these days anymore. You don't have to be programmer to launch your tech business. And this isn't my first business either. So prior COVID, I was running a family-owned business, our restaurants for 4 years, and we also reached approximately 500,000 euro turnover at the year prior COVID. And then COVID came, and it kind of ended up everything for a couple of years. And COVID time was very, very hard for me personally because we not only lost the business, there was lockdown and everything we all were going through, but also in 2 years I lost my both parents and I gave birth to two kids. So beginning of 2021 was very, very challenging to me. And going through the therapy, I after one session, I had this dream that there is a database or platform where person can type in whatever is bothering him, and the database push out the data with or recommendations with practitioners who are experts in the particular field or particular issue the person is looking for. And the next day, I got the call from friend who were running already IT business here in Latvia. She had a wedding directory, and we were chatting. It's like, oh yes, let's do this. So in 6 weeks, by our any knowledge on existing wireframe, we launched the Latvian company. And it was very exciting time. It was like, oh yes, it's going on. So it's like, what a miracle, right? Like I dream, and next day I get this call, and we were not like besties, so it wasn't like regular thing. And so we launched this company, and after a couple of months, she says to me, this is actually not the area I'm so passionate about, and I have so many things to do. So I want to quit this. So what you're gonna do? And I said, like, no, I want to stay in this business. But at that moment, I stay with the business. I understand zero about, technologies. I had no marketing background. I had no sales background. I was stuck with the programmers in Turkey, and with the platform, I didn't enjoy myself. How you move ahead from that? And I was like a bit like stargaze for a while, was stuck and I didn't know what to do. But then slowly I started to apply to some pre-accelerators, talk to some mentors, advisors, and then I met my co-founder, and we founded the Actors World Project. And with this, I want to say that like when we talk about tech, I think women often think that it's like really technological, but the tech is the part of everyday process or aspect of or any other industry in our lives, and it's just a tool which we can use to make projects also in all other industries. And yes, so I found a team, I found the people who are very good in what they're doing, and I could keep the industry knowledge, and they focused on particular technical solutions. And so.
Yes, one of the reasons why I actually invited you is because I actually knew that you had no previous tech experience. And for me,
Mm,
this was so important. We've had this conversation how a lot of women, when they don't have perfect experience in something, they will stop working on it or they will postpone it. And that's something that I speak a lot in my book, The Future of Business is Female. And I see it so often. And research proves that so many women have brilliant ideas and they never go ahead with the idea because she thinks, I'm not good enough with this. I don't know how to do it. It's not the same with men. In fact, it's so
mm,
funny when you look at so many founders, they actually have zero clue about something. And I was actually having a conversation with ChatGPT. I know, don't judge me,
mhm,
whoever is listening. I was having a conversation the other day because I'm also working on another tech company and I have no experience specifically in this area. I'm very techie. I've been in the tech world. I could see myself as a tech woman just because I've been in this, but not on that level. And I actually asked ChatGPT, I said, how many male founders who had no experience prior to that in tech have launched unicorn tech companies? And ChatGPT was like, you'll be actually surprised, but they're quite a lot.
mm,
And it gave
mm,
me a
mm,
list of so many males. I was like, what? This
mhm.
person didn't have any experience. He didn't know anything. That doesn't stop women. So why should it stop us. And also, kudos to you for going through so much, losing your family, your parents. That is so traumatic. And also giving birth after that. You're a Wonder Woman, so no wonder why you eat fear for breakfast. You're just like, let's go. I have a follow-up question to, being a woman in tech and what you shared and not having a lot of knowledge in this area, but then figuring it out. What would be some of the unique challenges that you faced as a female founder? And how did you actually navigate these? And I know we've had a quite of a discussion around that.
Well, I guess to be a woman in the tech or also even startup community, it's not it's not advantage. It's not advantage. And yes, so um, I have actually two challenges here. The in since I'm operating from Latvia, that first of all, I'm a woman, and secondly, I'm in a holistic space. So being in holistic space here is seen as something, some little lady hobby instead
Mhm.
of like growing huge business, not only in US and globally. And despite the data, despite all the hard stuff, they still see it like as something, like really like women do in their free time. And
Mhm.
and it also is the industry where women are prevalent as both as the service providers and also as the users and men as such, since it's like I think in our human nature, when we don't understand something, we kind of automatically neglect it. It's so, and plus I'm the woman, and it's like for the first year I was even trying to prove that it's a real thing,
Mhm.
and then understand I'm not doing it. But there have been also a lot of meetings and a lot of comments like about well, for example, like, oh, okay, why you are building this for women? Like, well, because the statistics is like that the women are the biggest users, women are the biggest service providers, and data shows it that also our target audience will be
Mhm.
women. And then the comment is like, yeah, well, I guess because the guys can deal, or can deal about their shit, yeah, with themselves. So, like we can handle our
No, they
stuff. You don't
did
need the
not
help.
say that.
Oh yeah, yeah. It was
OMG.
second round in business incubators in the commission, whereas I don't know, there's a room of people who are evaluating your project, whether you get applied or not. And I'm in the Baltics, so I guess in US you would face a court maybe after a situation like that, but here it's not. And at very beginning it was really painful. I was not actually ready for it, like. Because some comments in the corridor rooms or private discussions, it's one thing, but like to say publicly and public accepts it, it was and there were also women in the room, of course. So that was hard and painful. And what I learned in meantime, that yeah, the mainstream communities is very male dominant, and the biggest funding also here goes to the males. Even though since we have Scandinavia so close, we have a lot of female top managers, etc. But whether when it comes to the, as you said, big business owners, because hobby businesses and little household businesses women can own. You can be the, I don't know, beauty salon owner. It's
Mm.
fine because that's the woman thing. But tech, and yes, it took time to prove that I'm even something to take seriously. But eventually understood that I don't wanna push in those spaces, and I just started to build what I want to
Mm.
build. I found the ways how to build it,
Mhm.
and the more I build it, the more confidence I gain. And eventually, like, I don't care. I'm doing my stuff. And through the time, I also found that male investors, male mentors, male advisors, and all other stakeholders who didn't have this gender bias and who understood the industry I'm in also. And so I rather pick and choose and spend more time on finding the real people than trying to kind of convince others to understand that it is a real thing, it is a real industry, and women can also do the tech businesses. In fact, I think we can be very good in tech, because it's at the end they are systems and they are quite complex but logic solutions. and we as the women are, I think we are just born to run, a lot of things at the same time where one thing connects to another thing. So I think tech is very good space, but I have read other researches where women, yes, we are more afraid, more resistant towards trying new tech solutions. But at the same time, once we do it, we are better than men.
Mm-hmm.
So, so yeah, it wasn't directly choice. I chose tech per se, but yeah, it was the my own kind of journey how I got there. But I'm totally convinced that tech is the future in all other areas of our lives, and not
Mm-hmm.
necessarily always replacing people, just doing our jobs more productive, more efficient, and uh, taking loads of the work where we need to do a lot of analytical work, or even the product I'm building right now. If I would have to do it without I don't know, it would be maybe three, four, five times more expensive than with AI solutions right now.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's just I think it's to find the right partners and people also who understand their thing well, and you need to understand what you want to build, and then I think it works in that
Yes,
way.
and let's also be honest, and objective. We don't want people to call us men haters or something like that.
Yeah.
Let's just say that we are not. We love good men. But I do agree with you when you shift your mindset to actually connecting with the right people. There are a lot of male investors that are pretty understanding. We still have a lot to improve though, because we do see that a lot of the male investors, predominantly male investing firms, they invest more into these girly type of businesses that you said, cosmetics or stuff like that, that are typically female
Mhm.
type of companies. And so for me, when I see a woman creating something that is not in the beauty space, not that I have anything against it, but it's not in the beauty space, and it's not so much in the fem tech of like, okay, let's build another period tracking app, which we
Mhm.
don't need. We already have one, which is very good,
Yeah.
or two.
Yes.
But again, so this is really really impressive to shift this thinking, and this is to everybody just watching. To, as a woman, don't get discouraged, and as you said at one point, you wouldn't care. However, be prepared, because I have clients who are not prepared. They are wearing their delusional glasses, which indeed continue wearing the delusional glasses for sure. But just know that the world is rough out there, and you need to be, as you said, very confident in what you're
Yeah.
doing in this space. And so I'm curious, you've already mentioned that women in tech, and I 1,000% agree with you that they have their own benefits and how they actually accelerate and improve the industry. This is not us just speaking, it's research out there that proves that actually women contribute quite a lot, especially with what you said, the technical. When we remove the analytical, super technical, and then we put a holistic experience, this is what women bring. But I'm curious also, what is your approach as a woman to leadership? Especially, you possibly have to also lead quite a lot of men around you doing some of the work. What is your approach to leading people, to building teams and a culture? How do you do this as a woman in a very male dominated space? And in fact, leadership on top of all is also masculine. So how do you do it as a woman? What is something that you've seen about yourself and you see your femininity comes out in this?
Um, yes, so as I said, this is my second serious business, and in first business, I had a team of approximately 30 people, and I run it very in a very masculine way. And after going through my experiences, and also I'm 40 now, so I see life slightly different when I was 30. And as I said, right now, I can pick and choose. So also in my team, since we don't have a huge team, it's still under 10, that I can choose the people who fit in. So first of all, no sexual bias. understands and are passionate about the industry, and whether it's like UX designer or programmers, but they don't see me as a woman in tech, like
Mhm.
we are just two peers working together. And this I can do until the team is small. Of course, when we will scale, this will be more challenging, but I think also corporate culture matters a lot. And in fact, most of the people are younger than I am, and younger generation, they already are, different. And the like programmers, they are guys, and my co-founder uh, is a male, and my mentor, business mentor, is a male also. But like, let's say UX designer is a lady, and I really try to choose the team members by their professional knowledge, but this cultural fit and value fit is very important as well.
Mhm.
And other thing is like, yeah, I am intuitive. I trust my gut feeling. I trust my inner knowing and making decisions, which might be irrational, or some are doing other way. But for me, it's important that I can internally validate my decisions instead of just doing the right thing. And I think women in that respect are harder to be managed or led because we have that internal compass, right? So do like that. No, but it doesn't work like that. No, do like that. Like, and we know it's not working. So it's like, I cannot do this. And
Mhm.
for men, it's a bit different. Like when, someone like, this is the way we are working. Okay, this is the way we are working. But that also gives advantage because when we come into the businesses where we don't understand anything, we ask a lot of questions. We learn from beginning, and then we understand where are the gaps, where some things could be better, where some things could be cheaper, easier, I don't know, more, I don't know, more profitable, whatever. Because sometimes that defined knowing kind of puts the blindfolds on you because this is the way how the things are done instead of like questioning why we are doing the way we are doing. And I think that's also very female-led approach. And I mean, I'm married. I'm raising two boys, as you said. It's not. I'm pro man, but that technology and also startup space is really male dominant, and I think we have a lot of space for more women founders, for more female-led tech companies, for more female-led companies as such,
Mhm.
but like in a real and big profitable
Mhm.
industries, not like small household businesses. And other thing is like for me, it's important that the company not only scaling, that it's sustainable and that it will be profitable as the business. Because the startups, like I mean, as those who are in startup space, they know that most important is the scale, and scale doesn't necessarily mean to have like a long-lasting business. Like they
Yep.
burn out like like those Chinese lanterns. They go and then finish. And
So true.
for me, it's like I'm building something I believe in, so I wanted also to be profitable and bring the change. I want to be part of the change makers, and that's the difference. Because a lot of men, they just okay, let's do this idea, then let's do another idea. Maybe one of them shoots out, and I don't want to invest my energy in something I don't believe in. So I do only the projects I personally highly believe in.
I love that so much. And this is so typical for female founders. They're driven by purpose. And
Mhm.
as you said, purpose, impact, these are leading things. And I think that more and more women with the proper education, then we're getting an exposure and examples. We are now also opening to purpose and profitability because for a
Yes.
long period of time for females it's all about the purpose, it's all about impact. I don't care so much about the money, I don't have a money motive. And now it's both, it's not either or, you don't sacrifice any of them, where we could see with a lot of male dominated spaces it's really much about profit, 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 and then the purpose is not necessarily there. And as you said, it skyrockets really fast and then it dies out.
Mm.
I want to bring you back because we mentioned this, and I think for a lot of listeners, this is very important. I think this is the massive thing is obviously finding the investment of the thing. So based on your experience of what you've been through, let's just say you can go back a year or 2 years back, and you can change some of the approach that you have when it comes to specifically finding investments. What would you recommend for women to do? Like, if you have one simple suggestion, if you meet a younger version than you meet she's young and beautiful and fragile and so innocent, and you're just like, I want to protect you like a mama bear. This is what you need to know
Uh,
about investors. What will be that one thing?
I think the fragile innocent was the key because I really was fragile and innocent. And well, you have to walk in as a mama bear instead of fragile and innocent because um, um, no one is really waiting you with like wide open arms as the woman, and you have to walk in very confident with what you're doing, and to be confident at very beginning, at the early stages, when you just validating the concept, trying to find the right tech solutions, and to understand all the tiny things. It's very hard, but I think there comes also a lot of inner working. There's like this practical, technical, logical, and all that, and then there is the inner work to stand in your truth and to stand in your,
Mhm.
like true self. That I know what I'm building, and I mean your opinion. You are entitled to your opinion, but it doesn't define who I am, what I'm doing, and all of that. And because we, as a women, we are very very can say open and fragile by hearing other opinions, and we get affected by that and sometimes get hurt by that, but to walk into this space, truly know what you are doing and why you are doing, and then it's easier. And
Mhm.
also, like, if like this is more technical, but I would other time, if I would start over again, I wouldn't go into the general spaces anymore. I
Mhm.
would really do more research, whom I'm approaching first, what their background, what companies they've been investing in, and not only in my space, but really like do they invest in female founders? Do they invest in
Yes.
impact companies? Do they invest in holistic space?
Mhm.
Yeah, and it's not necessarily meaning that they will say no, but you can spend a lot of time and energy even kind of defending your space. Like this is
Mhm.
the industry, and you as the woman, you can do it instead of you going to someone who already knows that yes, women are building good, successful companies. Yes, those companies are more profitable, more profitable, more
Mhm.
sustainable. I don't know. And this is something. Yeah, at the beginning I was like more targeting those big, fancy, flashy VCs and more known companies. And I wouldn't do it again. I would do more homework, more research.
Oh, that's a very good point. Not to, well, maybe you can still approach the big
You can.
flashy names that we know. However, also do, as you say, your homework of
Mm.
seeing who's actually supporting female founders. And there's
Yeah.
plenty of companies now that are announcing this. Although I've read an article recently that even though a lot of companies announce that they support women, when you actually go and see who they're supporting, that's not the case.
No.
Shame on you, whoever is
Yeah,
doing it.
it was fun when I joined my first pre-accelerator. The opening speech was given by one of the VC founders here, one of the most VCs here, and about like how we encouraging and how good is you ladies are joining. And then only after, I don't know, a couple months after, I learned in their 10 years of running or whatever, they haven't invested in one female company.
Shame on
It's like,
you.
oh my gosh, like,
Boo.
yes, like leave these policies for politicians, but like when it comes to the business, like it's
I've
not nice.
heard the stories more than once. So I remember actually, I think you shared this with me as well when
Mm,
we were speaking about Y Combinator, and then we
yeah.
discussed that, and we were like, oh my God. But listen, this, whoever is listening to this, don't get
Mm,
discouraged. I think there is more and more opportunities. And in fact, here's the thing, there's natural selection as well. So keep in mind
mm,
that a lot of females will still not go ahead. They will just live with their dream in their head and they will not go and present it. You go and present it, and you should be prepared. I think that Canva's founder Melanie, she was rejected more than 1,000 times.
Yes, I hear that as well.
1,000
Yes.
times. And
Yeah.
I, at this point, I've also been in business for quite a long time. I don't want to reveal it because I'm just still 19 years old, as everybody knows.
Oh.
But I've been in business for such a long time. I still get rejection. So a lot of people who come and work with me, they think just because I have a multiple seven-figure business, then that everybody's saying yes all the time and it's all roses and flowers and champagne and it's so good. No, I hear rejections every single day. And I actually faced few rejections this year in other areas that were very painful and it really hurt, but I realized that they just make me tougher, which brings me to what I wanted to say, what you said. Women take everything personal. Stop taking everything personal. If somebody says no to your business, is not saying no to you. They're not saying that you're worthless. They're just saying no to something that you are part of. So don't internalize and personalize things. Again, I speak quite a lot in my book, The Future of Business is Female, about that because the explanation is that when girls grow up, they're constantly showered in praises. You're such a princess. Well, boys are like, not exactly like
Hmm.
that. Like we're more critical to boys. What are you doing that? Why are you punching your
Oh,
brother? We're a little bit. And with
true.
with a girl, even I see myself when I'm walking on the street. I see a girl, and I'm like, "You're such a beautiful
Hmm.
princess." And then a boy comes and and almost like crashes on me, and I'm like, "I'm gonna spank you." So it's this different approach. And so girls are praised when they're little, and then all of a sudden, pure little innocent princess gets into puberty, and now all of a sudden the world is saying you're not beautiful enough, you're ugly, you're fat, you have body hair, lips needs to be bigger, boobs need to be this, you need to be slimmer. So all of a sudden women start facing this amount of criticism, which is unreal. So for them, it's really a shock and a trauma. Lots of girls go through that. Let's just say that pretty much every single woman goes through,
Very.
unless you are raised in a very toxic environment with narcissistic parents, more girls are praised like a princess, and then all of a sudden you're not a princess anymore. The world is criticizing you, and then on top of all, an asshole breaks your heart, and now you think there's something wrong with you, and now everything is about you. You have emotional fragility, and you just stop pushing because you think there's something with you. It's not the case, darling. Just keep on pushing. I have a last question and I want to wrap up with this. Thank you so much for this honest conversation. I want to ask you, how do you see the future of women in tech entrepreneurship? How do you think it's going to look like? What is your prediction of how things will turn out even more now with AI? And also, what we already gave an advice in terms of investing, but is there any advice you want to give the future generation of women coming as female founders or women who are sitting and thinking, I really want to find another company? What would you tell them?
Um, First of all, I think you already touched on AI. We didn't dive in much in this discussion, but I think it's shaping all the tech industry, all other industries right now. And I think the truth is like no one really knows how it will look.
Hmm.
But one thing is sure that it will change everything. It will be something like when internet came in, at beginning it was like some things, some programs, but eventually like everything is run by that. And I think AI is one of those things. At the same time, it opens also a lot of opportunities for less experienced tech founders to start the tech companies. And the times of change are always full of possibilities. So that's a great thing. And for female founders, I think we a bit already touched on that. That I was thinking about it before. That um, we really see like tech when we hear tech we get scared and we see it as like end goal, but tech is really just a tool to make all other areas of our life better, and just to see it as a tool and not get scared of it. And it's okay not to know on the day one, but we as the women, we are so capable, smart, and I think we learn so fast. it's okay that, I don't know today, to know tomorrow I know better. And after 1 year, I already have a company, and after 2 years, I have can have a very successful company. And on the day zero, it's okay, even not to know anything. This was like I entered as a restaurant business with zero knowing. I raised quite a bit of money and built a successful business. So also coming into tech space, I didn't know anything, but I was just confident in myself that I can learn. And
Mm,
all of us can learn. I think we all have this capability. Women are learning all the time. So I think that's just the thing, like you don't have to not to know anything today. You can start today and tomorrow you already will know more.
mm,
And there, like your podcast, I think it's a great thing. There are communities, there are spaces, there is information which gives lots of insights and help, and also talks about how it is to be the woman in the business, and it's very, very helpful. And to be ready, I think, as you said, like not to be scared of going into tech, or no, or I don't know, being woman into the startup community, but awareness is important, and it can save quite a bit of heartbreak if you're going in more prepared, like already knowing what the field is like. So that's very valuable. And I
well,
think the more we will get there, the more the easier and more comfortable we'll get the tech space. So it's just a question of time. The next generation will already be we will have this advantage because they were pioneers in our age, in our time, who did the hard job for them.
mm. I agree so much with you and everything you said. It's all about representation and showing what is possible for me. I think that growing up in southern eastern Europe, which is even so much different than where you're from, it's slightly worse, I would say, in terms of representation. For me, when I was growing up, I would only see male founders. Like I would look at Elon Musk, I will look at Jeff Bezos. When I was a teenager, they were just starting to boom so much. And I would look at all these men and I'll be like, what am I even doing? Because back then, I was still interested in these things. But I thought, it's not going to happen. And then the more I was reading and seeing examples here and there, even though when I was a teenager, that was very rare to see a successful female founder who's self-made, who hasn't inherited something or is not working with her husband on something. That was so rare. And now, as you said, we have representation, we have examples. You can learn, you can go and do it. So, for everybody's listening, I hope that this was your permission slip to go and take action and learn. You really don't have an excuse. Now, with AI, you can pretty much bootstrap your business with ChatGPT. Don't trust it 1,000% because we know it fails big time. I mean, some of the suggestions that ChatGPT is giving me, I'm like, oh my goodness, please shut up. But be encouraged, be brave, be have the vulnerability to also make mistakes. It's not the end of the world. Don't worry, people will forget in 3 days. I mean, you know what happened to Kim Kardashian.
Yeah.
Nobody remembers it. People forget. It takes three
The
days.
same.
People will forget after that about your mistake. Nobody is going to come and be like, oh, she did it. Well, we never know because you see there are some founder stories that are pretty shocking. But thank you so much for this. If people want to find you, I will drop all the information so that they follow, first of all, your journey because you share great things, and also for them to become part of the company and test it and work on themselves. Thank you so much for spending the time with me because I also know that you're a mama, which is another thing that our listeners should know, that you also have kiddos and you're doing all this. And look at you. So thank you so much. I so appreciate you for this.
Yeah, yeah. And yes, hope to see more women in our tech space.
Hallelujah. Let this be the final message. Let's see more women in the tech space.